when we're looking at a literature review, a rapid review allows us to quickly look at the literature and understand it. So if we were to launch synthesis and we were to click on new project, what I'll do is I'll call this one 0 test 1, and we'll go kids and database. And and then have a blank project here. So we would head to tools and go online search. And under Pubmed, what we do is we would type in Kids Inpatient Database. And what we'll do is we'll limit this to title and abstract. And these are actually just basically common Pubmed terms. So if we hit search, synthesis will then head out there and then query Pubmed. It's found 775. We'll then click on OK, and it will then actually basically retrieve those. And it will allow us to basically see what type of so it will then show us basically what type of references are there. So we then can have a quick look, make sure it's what we want, and then we would click on import to synthesis, and then it's then at that point importing them. At the same time that it's importing, it's checking to see whether we already have the reference. So if we were to query Pubmed, Web of Science, Embase, it will then actually check for all the basically duplicates, and it won't and it will and then it will remove them, but you still have access to actually see what was actually what was actually removed, and then you can re-include them if in fact you don't agree. So we then would actually basically just click on OK, and we would then actually go to return synthesis. So and then what we have is we have all of our so we have all of our references here. We can have a quick look at these by actually basically just clicking on a row, and then it will show us the title, the journal, authors, and then as well it will highlight it will highlight actually words as well, so that at that point we're then able to find exactly what we're looking for really quickly. So to add actually new highlighted words that you're looking for, you then could actually just have it in the highlight abstract key rows, or have it highlight in the full text. So why don't we just basically type in, so I'm seeing basically a couple of words, so kidney and injury. So if we then basically actually so if we then return, we then find that those words are actually highlighted. So it allows us to quickly see what we want. One of the powerful features of synthesis is its search. So if we were to type in basically title, and we were to type in basically, let's say, basically kidney, it will then find all of the actually references that are that have the word kidney in the title. You as well can add other things by going and we could type in basically abstract colon, and let's go injury. So then it then allows you really quickly to actually basically filter what you're actually looking for. We as well could actually do we as well could search for basically the journal BMC, and here's where we could apply our inclusion exclusion. So let's say we wanted to include a so let's say we wanted to include a couple of these, we then would actually just head in to the paper tab, and we would then actually just basically choose whether we want to include or exclude. And all of these and then all of these kind of references will then be basically included or excluded, kind of based around what we're actually typing for. And then we can then kind of say, only show us the included abstracts, or only show us the abstracts that are unknown, the ones that we haven't actually basically classified yet. What we then can kind of actually do, so let's try to type in a couple other words. So if we type in sepsis, we then at that point find there's 46, and we then could kind of actually hit on either a word cloud, and we can kind of view the word cloud by either the title or the abstract. And by clicking on kind of these terms, it then will kind of allow us to filter down by adding that term to the search. So if we can actually return, we as well could hit on basically topic clustering. And topic clustering uses kind of an AI approach for actually trying to basically find out what are kind of what are kind of the topics from kind of the abstract. And I'm here too. What we then can do is we then could as well basically click on these, and then it will actually filter basically kind of down. And for here, we'll just kind of clear the topic. When we're actually basically going through these, we can actually quantify the literature as well. So by us actually clicking on kind of basically having the term sepsis, we then could hit auto tag visible rows. We then could say we want to create a new column. We'll call it basically disease. And we want it to label all these as sepsis. So what has happened is it's then basically actually made kind of a new column there that includes basic sepsis. If we were to type in other terms, so such as such as basic cancer, we then could hit auto tag again. We could choose existing column. We could append it, and we then would hit basically cancer, and it then is having a warning, and we want to proceed, and it's then at that point basically put so it's then basically put the word cancer in our column. By then actually basically right clicking on the column, we can go view chart enhanced, and what that will do is it will actually show kind of a breakdown of that column. So we could click on show values, or show kind of percentages. We as well could kind of actually we then could kind of exclude kind of the nulls here by us turning off show percentages. We could change it into kind of another type of a chart, and we could have that basically charted by year. So that we then can see whether there's an increase of the number of papers rising or kind of lowering. We then as well can kind of actually head into our project settings, and then here kind of once more it kind of has kind of a project title, a project description. You then can have kind of which kind of words you're wanting highlighted in either the abstract or in the full text. And plus as well, you then can add other kind of exclude reasons. So if you're kind of wanting to keep track of kind of why you're excluding something, you then could kind of just go add. And here we'll just kind of go excluded and go hyphen, and maybe we wanted to exclude all foreign language papers. If we wanted to create other basically custom columns, we then could add this. So we could really kind of just say, well, is this column basically important? And we then could click on OK. We as well can when I kind of talked about if we want to see kind of what are the papers that were actually kind of removed because they were already within the synthesis project, we then could kind of click on that. Some kind of other ones is that we can actually basically click on basically display the meta data. So if we click on OK and we go and then we return, we'll then kind of see other columns that are actually imported. So there's other, there's actually other basically data that's in like Pubmed or Web of Science or like kind of Scopus that like kind of we like kind of may want to basically look at. So for example, Web of Science and Scopus, they actually keep track of like kind of the funding. They like have like kind of like citations, like how many times the reference has actually been basically citated. And then as well though, if we were to actually basically just click on like BMC, and we were to like kind of actually click on like kind of one of these, we then could hit basically download. And Synthesis will actually go out there and it'll try to pull in, it'll like try to actually pull in the like full like kind of text. So it takes about basically like 20 seconds per like basic paper, and we're probably about 70% successful for actually retrieving these papers, and we're trying to basically improve that as like well. And then as well though, some of the new features that we're working on is we're working on a thing called a rapid review. And what a rapid review allows us to do is it allows us to like kind of actually choose like kind of what's the data that we're actually wanting to actually report on. So let's click year, let's go journal. But we kind of wouldn't want it to show all of the like kind of possible like all of the possible journals. So we would kind of go, we only want to show like kind of the top like 20. And we as well could like kind of say like where is this actually coming from? So if we were to import Web of Science, PubMed, other places, it would kind of be there. We kind of may want to click on like kind of the author the author basic language as well. We as well can like kind of move like kind of these examples. So then what it does is it then kind of shows other references and other file kind of use. We as well could like kind of hit on like public place and pub type, and we would actually basically save our configuration, and then we would actually kind of create like kind of run. So what we'll do is we'll like actually basically save this into the desktop, and we'll call this one KID and test one. Click on OK, and it then has actually basically like kind of made like kind of a rapid review. And when we click on and when we actually head to basically our desktop and we find that Word file, what it then does is it like and then actually basically has like tried to actually quantify those like columns. So if we here though, it would include like kind of the like template, like your background, your methods, your like search strategy, your analysis, and then it would actually show like kind of your like kind of quantified like kind of results. And as you can see, what we did here was we didn't want it to list all of the possible journals, but we only wanted to list the top 20. So what it does is it then provides a other. So what we have is we kind of essentially have half of the literature is like coming from these like 20 basic journals, and then the other half are coming from like 450 other ones. So that actually provides an overview